好，新游戏。俩狐狸，还有
Are you awake? I thought I heard you get up.
Yeah, I'm
有没有字幕啊？干，
awake. Sorry, I just can't sleep.
我只是睡不着罢了。
Are you thinking about him?
你在想伊哦？
Yeah, a bit. You should get back to sleep, my love. I'm fine.
No, it's okay.
但这个
What else is on your mind?
这个画面怎么看起来这么鸟？
It seems weird, but I had one of the most vivid dreams of my life. I saw a fox on a snowy mountain, just looking confused and worried. Those eyes. I can't get those eyes out of my head. She was running in the windy snow, looking for something.
Do you think it has to do with you and what's been going on?
我哪知？
I don't know. It was just a dream, Rachel. They're not meant to make sense.
瑞秋，
A lot's happened the past couple days, that's all.
Well, if you're not going to sleep anyway, you should tell me.
甲我讲，甲我讲，我想要听。
Alright.
恁爸就甲你讲。啊娘喂！
So, not far from her home, she followed that path to something unexpected.
哇，翘起。他家的囡仔
She
翘起。
couldn't stay, though. She had to find her other 2 children. So she took that path. She followed it towards something ancient. Something with answers.
Give me your answer. Answer me. 第一棵树。
The fox looked high and low, searching for any sign of her cubs.
闻闻
Points
鼻，
of light
闻闻地
showed
上
the way to this ancient tree. It was as if each one had a story to tell, all their own.
吃吃星星。
The land was trying to tell my story, too. I felt like I was right behind her the whole time.
紧嘞，走较紧嘞。跳起来的动作好生硬哦。哎，那边怎么有东西啊？你看啊。哎呦，这什么东西？这么亮啊？也死了，是吗？哦，不是。哇
As
哇
a kid,
哇！
did you ever do show and tell in your class?
Yeah, I think I only did it once when I was in the 4th grade.
你知道我生活中那些，我想告诉我同学，在无聊的时候，
I wanted to show
我会
my
做
class
什么
what
来
helped
消
pass the
磨
time
时
and
光？
distracted me.
嗯哼，
So I brought a dozen paper cranes.
做了一堆纸鹤，
I think I told
有够
everyone
丢
how
人的。
badly I wanted to be a bird.
这是一条小船吧？
Embarrassingly enough.
Don't be embarrassed. Every kid wants to fly.
嗯，
For me, it was another toy from my dad, a wooden boat. I remember guarding it so carefully in my hands as I walked into class. When I sat down, the group of boys
我还没
immediately
坐
made
稳
fun of，
一
it.
群男生就来
They
笑
asked
我。
which trash can I found it in.
妈的，
and
这群人
Ugly
真的
Wall
是有
was
个
my
鸡
favorite
掰的。
toy. When I got up, I didn't even want to tell them my dad had carved it. I said it was a joke gift my friends had given me.
Kids can be so cruel.
Some of them are. I shouldn't have let them get to me, but it did. It's amazing we bounced back at all.
没事的，打击我们那些王八蛋，以后都不会过得很好，放心。Don't worry, my child, my kids. 哇哇哇！
Do you
挖到什么？
remember what my dad did for a living?
Wasn't he like a lumberjack?
什么东西？火
That's
车？
one way of putting it. If wood was a canvas, then a carving knife was his paintbrush.
树木落是一张
Even
画
after
布。
working a 50-hour week, even after his hands were more splinters than skin, he would bring home the nicest piece of Alaskan weeping cedar and make me toys. That wooden train was the first toy I can remember.
这也是他
and I
爸
loved
做给
it.
他的吗？
I just knew from a young age I was going to be a lumberjack. Like
伐
my
木
father.
工。伐木工。尾巴一直跳，一直翘，一直翘。嗯？为什么那边也有？干，我怎么刚刚都没有发现？有果实可以吃啊！还有，还有，再上来啊！我想要上来。卡 bug 干。那道光是什么光？希望之光。干，他这个画面怎么那么僵硬啊？三小，地图也太大了吧？
Usually those kids would leave me alone, but somehow they could tell I was different. They made
他们
fun
取
of
笑
how
我
far
住在
away
偏
I
远的地
lived
方，
and called
他
my
们给我
dad
爸取名叫做
sourdough.
拓荒者。
I was a blabbermouth as
小
a
时候
kid,
是个大嘴巴，什么跟爸
telling
爸
my
讲。
dad stories I made up for hours. But after that show and tell, I didn't tell him much anymore.
看他给他做
I
个
didn't
坦
know
克，
exactly what was wrong,
靠
but his
北。
best guess was that the toys he carved weren't cool enough. He carved me a tank and tried to tell me what it was like to be in a real tank as a serviceman.
I didn't know your dad was in the military.
Yeah, in the army.
是男孩子都要当兵。
Sad thing is that I'd pretty much forgotten until just now. There's so much I still don't know about him.
I'm sorry. He knows how much you love him. You're going to see him again soon and have some closure, I'm sure.
啥都没有。干，这游戏评价会很高，他妈骗人，骗人，王八蛋！专门害人家来买来玩的，干！画面跟音乐是蛮疗愈的啦，他妈的！但是能不能不要跑这么远？故事可以连贯一点，讲故事可以讲连贯一点啊！把那个东西弄得这么远，他妈的要跑超远能捡到下个东西。
The older I got, the more
年
I
纪越大，我就越后悔。我曾经问过我自己，
myself,
为什么要跟别人
talk to
说，
anybody anyway? Why bother when I'm happy
开
by
始画
myself?
画，画附
I
近的
started
动物，
drawing a lot, mostly
幻
animals I
想自己
saw
秘
in
密
the
基地的
woods by
样
my
子，
home.
电视。
I then
洋芋
imagined
片
designing my own hideouts with things like TVs and pantries full of chips and cookies. I think that idea of leaving home
Oh.
and drawing blueprints started my career. I found a lot of solace in that.
I'm not surprised, but I did the same thing, you know? There's something special about having a
拥有
place
一
to call your own.
属于自己的一片小天地是个很奇特的事情。
Well, if you count renting in an overpriced city.
It's as close as we can get for now.
如果你住在一间房子要好几千万的地方，你可能就没有这个地方可以做你的小天地了，因为你的钱根本不够，睡觉的地方都不够了，还住什么小天地？哎，那边怎么有车？国旗。下面有车，附近应该有个点的，对。吉普车。哎呦，那边怎么还有个火箭？快去看看。看卖一个。 讲故事游戏搞得这么冗长，妈的！有一种拖台前的感觉。附近怎么都没有挖的东西，都不能看的故事。这不是火箭啊，是溜滑梯。小时候我们在玩溜滑梯。小狐狸。好了啦，再给我5分钟。再没有个进展，干就不玩了。笨色游戏。好像没多少钱吧，20-30块还是50块，不到100块。看起来是蛮舒压，但是有点太单调了，妈的！玩到5点，5点就换游戏，干！不是5点，4点。有亮亮的东西。给个剧情吧，有了，剧情来了，正在登录。哇！ 哎、拿到蝴蝶可以高跳，是不是？应该是。看来是。蝴蝶飞呀飞，蝴蝶飞呀飞。哎、等一下，我不能再把蝴蝶拿走了。不能乱跳，到那边再跳。等于是个额外的 buff。OK， 上来。
Brakes, slowly bowed his head while gripping the steering wheel, and finally looked at me. All he said, like it was a polite
把一切恢复
request,
原状。
was
我坐在车里，气得
make
快
this
冒烟了。
right.
我下了车，
I sat there in silence, fuming, but I eventually got out and combed every square inch of the woods, muttering profanity after
湿漉漉的
profanity.
磁带放回卡
I
座
found
里。
it 30 minutes later, near a small waterfall off
哎
the
呦
road.，
冷战哦！
I went back to the truck, put the wet tape back in, and sure enough, it worked.
吸
We
音啊！
didn't speak another word to each other the rest of the night.
Wow, I knew you were a crazy teenager, but
It's hard to believe, isn't it? Surprising.
蝶，简称八大乌。靠北，早知道刚刚不要弄掉，没讲。拖时间，干。这时候呢，就要把自己的空白键给拔掉。大拇哥收起。我讨厌，
It's like all of
我
that
讨
spite
厌
inside me
，I
had
hate
created
it。
this monster which followed me around my whole teenage years. I put so much energy into doing what others didn't expect of me.
怎么会这样呢
Why did I do that?
？Why did I do that？
There's one fact you're forgetting, though. If you didn't have that fire in you, we probably would have never met.
You're
Hello,
absolutely
Boomer.
right. Maybe the destination is all that matters in the end. But then why am I awake? Why am I seeing this fox go on her journey? And why can't I stop thinking about my dad?
Because you're just a fox. What a foxy！ 下去。秋。哦，果然呢，这是夏天吗？还是秋天？这么大要人要往哪里走？没收集到100个，不准过关。什么？床垫、可乐罐、可乐旅游、可乐 tours。一堆纸，蓝图。吃个亮晶晶吧。Shit！ 吁吁。50星，15 stars。怎么路面变得这么崎岖？ 哦，shit！ Oh my god！ 我讨厌，我不喜欢这样，我不喜欢这样，我不喜欢重走。我要当个卑鄙的外乡人，耶！我就是不想重走，怎样？妈的，王八蛋，什么烂路啊！最后一刻起跳才可以，为什么突然飞那么高？啊，好了，怎么回事？发生什么事？你不讲一下？滚！好了，摔下去了，完全不会受伤的一只小狐狸。大泡妞，反正游戏进行实在太慢了，太累人了，更爱困去。小木有一个故事，下一个。
On our property, there were old abandoned pieces of a shed and car long
旧
left
棚子，
unused.
上部件
I used to
长时
ask
间
him
未使
all
用
the
的汽
time
车，
who
我
those
曾经
people
问
were
他，
that left all this junk.
经常问
I'm
他
sure he got so
这
tired
车
of
谁留下来
hearing
的？
that he made up some elaborate stories how a brown bear ate them and haunted the woods afterwards. What's funny is I think it made those people seem more real.
老爸觉得他太
Growing up
烦，
thinking they
要
were
编
still
故
hanging
事
out,
打
but
发
they
他。
couldn't say goodbye. I used to tell my friends how I could swear
在
I
河
saw
边看到了鬼。
spirits move near the water, and that always freaked them out. I guess it didn't bother me, because the way I saw it, they were normal people with old cars and sheds, just trying to figure out how to survive and be happy
我只是个
in the middle
怪
of
婴啊！
nowhere. It was a cool thought that they didn't want to leave, but you know, I was a weird kid.
Well, you had good company since those ghosts like living in a place where they were brutally devoured.
单联车。讲自己爸爸的故事吗？ 讲小时候遇到的遭遇啊，为什么会这样啊什么的。先挖挖地板。
Even at my most distant,
我最恨他的时候，他还是向我伸出了双手，整整1年。他每周问我们什么时候去野营。我答应了。我们从车库里搬出那件老旧的草坪躺椅，好爽哦！
And set up a cinder block campfire at the site we'd always used behind the house. We walked down the mountain path, talking in the warm sunshine we only got a couple months of the year. Those 3 obsidian rocks shimmered alongside the shore, almost like sparklers pressed against a dark window. I'll never forget that wet stone on my feet, or how those massive mountains looked even bigger in the lake's reflection. I felt small, but grateful. As the sun set, my dad found something I hadn't seen for a long time. The tree where I'd made my first carving when I was 6. I hadn't even carved it. My dad had helped me, but I still called it my tree. Something about seeing my name there made me open up, and we talked about everything that night in that old camouflage tent. I told him how much I love sketching and design, and how it would be a dream to study architecture in Seattle. I told him how I didn't get along with my friends much anymore, but that I didn't mind being alone. He told me he was there for me, and he joked that if all he had to do was write my name on a tree to finally get me to talk, he would have left me carved logs with novels on them in front of my room every morning. I don't know why it took me that long to realize it, but it was then I knew how much he had sacrificed for me.
天下父母心啊，都一样。这不是才刚上去过了吗？怎么又再一次？干真人哦！靠北，被骗了，根本就没有 ，shit， 他还给我制造亮光，应该还有一个才对啊，2之3。哦，第3个看到了，远处。第2个，好远哦 ，shit。虾米，在另外一头。看我找得这么辛苦。这里什么？这里有东西吗？为什么这里发光？ 这个故事，来。
My dad built a lot of stuff in his free time. If he wasn't watching fly fishing or reading Tom Clancy novels, he was carving something. He made tons of birdhouses. Not that he was into bird watching, but I think he really missed working and adding on to the home. If he couldn't afford the time to build onto our own house, he would have to settle with watching birds move into their little homes. We kept an old mattress in the bed of that ugly yellow truck, so we would drive it deep into the woods and then watch the birds fly into their houses while the sun set. Usually it was accompanied by venison jerky or a cold Coke, but not a lot of talking, which is how we both liked it.
悠闲的度过一天，拿着鹿肉跟冰可乐，爽爽过一天。两脚一翘，老子不干了！
We were happiest underneath the evergreens. We decided it was time to finally map out the hundreds of acres we lived on just to pass the time during the summer. He was only free in the evenings, so I would spend the day wasting time on dial-up internet and sketching, and then we would rush into the woods, pen and map in hand, before evening fell. Sometimes, the aurora borealis would cast a cold green glow on the mountainside, and we would finish our route underneath a twilight sky. Sometimes I was lonely during those summer days, but there was comfort in the routine.
A lot of teenagers aren't looking for the daily grind, though. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get out, to leave your childhood home.
完全不会受伤。
You wanted to progress, to make something of yourself.
Yeah, you're right. That house. I'm sure it's the same as how I left it. But then why does it feel so different?
I doubt you're the only adult to have looked back and asked that question.
这个小星星，看距离太远了吧，先生，给上跑得过去吗？跑不过去吧，太远了。冷静，这章快过完了，冷静。不能在这时候爆气，要冷静。 shit， 他怎么过去？爬得上去吗？请问这是怎样？ 我是利用 bug 卡上来的吗？靠呗。算了，随便。你觉得玩了一个很奇怪的游戏？一个倒栽葱的方式跳进来。这个可以。3之3，耶！收集完了，可以下一关了吗？累了。然后嘞？然后嘞？哎，干！原来这边有可以直接走进来哦。好呗。就啥？你一定在笑我的无知，对不对？干，臭狐狸！游戏时间1个小时，大概有50分钟都在走路。干，成本超低。看一个狐狸屁股有什么好看的？真是。Fishing boat， 渔船。开门了。开门喽！可以回家去喽，小孩。70、71，干！我没办法拿100分，我不是韩国语。Fuck you, Korea fish 。破坏者就在附近，泰然自若，什么都没有错。我父亲过世了，瑞秋，我能告诉你这个故事。What?
I can tell you these stories, but I can never reminisce with him again. He can never hold a grandchild that I'll probably never be able to have. I can never talk to him again, and I'll never be able to say I'm sorry for everything.
不用那么悲哀啦，反正都过了，你再那么悲哀也是一样啊，生老病死难免吧。我外婆过世的时候也很难过啊，那有什么办法？人老了嘛，遇到意外，人老了什么的。 是在讲生命开始走下坡吗？都往下嘛，然后开始树啊什么的越来越枯萎，越来越黑暗。我要突破逆境，不要再走下坡了，我还不想死。啊，不行，可以道路上去吗？反正都花那么多时间在这个无聊游戏上面了，做一些比较有趣的事情。不行了，生命到了尽头，还是抵不过命运吗？哎，这边有无形的墙，干！好吧，他做边界，算他聪明。电梯向下。哟，摔死！好了啦，差不多了，累了。
I need to go to bed.
嗯
I just can't talk about this anymore.
，Good night。
Good night.
啊？然后嘞？哎，不负责任呢，干！跟人家good night也不给个 ending。哎，制作组不行哦。好了。结束了吗？要结束了吗？没有尽头。
You can't go to sleep feeling like
约瑟
this.
夫，你不能带着情绪睡着。
I'm sorry for everything, and I know you need
你
space.
不需要感到这么无
I'm
助。
here for you. You don't need to feel so lost. Joseph, have I ever told you what my mother
我有
was
没有
like?
告诉过你我母亲什么样子？ 来看看人家妈长什么样子。人家妈是小鹿斑比。操！
You know what it's like not to have a mom at home. And you know how hard that made my childhood.
我希望每天
What helped me was watching the birds.
校车出现时早起的鸟儿。这个是我的母亲。
One of those birds, and it made me want to be free like her.
知道我自己能飞
My mom
走。
taught me how to fold origami cranes while she was in the hospital. So I told myself I would fold one every day until I could fly myself.
两个怎么都那么悲剧啊？
I think we both have always loved
我们俩都
animals.
喜欢动
And
物
for。me, that love started with a dog.
一条狗，
Sometimes this Rottweiler would come up to our property line.
一放学我就会
and
看
leave up
它
the
是
fence
不是
for
在
me,
那里。
but only once in a while. I was sure to check every day immediately after school, and it usually ended in disappointment.
即便它
I
路
would
过，
even
也
steal
仅
money from my
也仅仅是
passed-out
停留在
dad
巴
just
黎
so I
外
could buy
面，
these
篱笆外面，
off-brand
它为什
dog
么那么害怕？
biscuits. Even when she did stop by, she never went beyond the fence. Why was she so scared?
不要问我，就是你妈。
I think my dad was the opposite of your dad in almost every way, except he was in the military as well. He coped with alcohol of every kind.
好可怜哦。
The trailer started falling apart, he got angry, and I withdrew. More and more, I became the weird, quiet kid who made lots of origami birds and carried dog biscuits around. I think we were pretty similar when it came to being the weird kids. And that same sincerity in college was one of the reasons I was so drawn to you.
两个一样悲剧，家庭不顺
Life
遂。
got worse and worse. And at one
我一
point,
度不相信我能在
I
煎熬
really
中
didn't think I could
保持
survive another
灵
day
魂的
with
完
myself
整。
still intact. I had no real
我没有
friends,
朋友，
let
更不用
alone
说邻
neighbors,
居。
since we lived in the middle of nowhere. I should have talked to my teacher, but I was scared what he would do if he found out. As I waited for the school bus,
是什么我也不知道。
I walked around until I found something in an abandoned shed. Something I can't put into words.
给我踏茶。
I summoned courage I didn't know I had, and I broke into my dad's room and found the key to the shed where he had locked my bike. I'll never forget that feeling. The wind rushing by my ears as the sun rose over fields of wheat. I was flying for the first time. I biked as far as my legs could take me until I found a house that felt friendly, and that felt like home. Those strangers helped me in so many ways. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have found my foster family. And if it wasn't for my parents, I wouldn't have met you. You have strength, Joseph.
你是
And
坚
you're
强的
not
约
as
瑟夫，
alone as you think.
你并没有想象那么
It's
孤
all
单。
just so pointless. Just waiting for life to happen. It's like having the
我
home
甚
I
至没
always
办法
wanted
做
is
这个好，
cursed
做
out
这
of
个好
my
儿
reach.
子，
The thought of being a parent
怎么做个好
myself.
父亲呢？
How could I do that when I couldn't even be a good son? I'm sorry. I know
要
what
生
you're
小
saying.
孩了吗？
I just don't know how things will work out. These quiet hours will turn into years. We'll wonder which roads passed us by.
Then we'll forge a new road together. Besides, I discovered for myself that one fateful morning where any hopeful road leads to. There may be thorns and mist, but it always leads to the same thing.
And what's that?
Family.
I'm so
Family.
glad that you're part of my family, Rachel.
哦
And，I'm glad you're part of mine.
骑在人家背上，干怎么那么大只？啊，我怎么那么小只？好爽啊！征服宇宙，耶！哼，巨大的路也不是我的对手。 金色的麦田，金色的杂草，眼睛发金，金金金，奔向太阳，安然死去。全剧终，句句。跑酷开始。难不成刚好可以凑100吗？看来不行。还有啊，饶了我吧。
The fox knew her last cub would be waiting for her at the first tree.
他马上就要到那里了。
Almost there. The rain cascaded onto the jade valley where the entrance to the tree was. Life was protected there, because that's where life began. It was now only a mother and a daughter left. Items from my life still dotted the ground as she moved closer to her destination and destiny.
哎呦，再摔下去。哇，五芒猪。 98分，耶，要100分了。99分，78分，哎，不止100分哦，那就不有意思。到底要玩多久？不是。
At the end of high school, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Drive. I looked into the best architecture schools on the West Coast, then got a dose of reality when looking at other students' portfolios and the high cost of tuition. I still wanted to be something, to be the next Alvaro Siza. and to make those thousands of sketches worth something in my grand history. But now even an internship sounds impossible. Caesar helped me understand how essential emotion is in architecture, and he also said light is the real composer of space. I like to think these glints of light, like not finding a job or even a strange dream about a fox, are something I should be thankful for, even if the illuminated space is something I'm less than comfortable with.
好，玩到这里吧，累了。